Howdy and welcome back. I'm Steven and this is FWP Reviews. Off the back of a painfully mediocre September, my hopes were high for October. Fortunately, my hopes were met when some of the best movies of the year came out this month, but with that came some of the worst. October can definitely be described as a month of epic highs and epic lows. Naturally, that has its own pros and cons. Let's get started by looking at the first movie I saw this month. Bingo Hell is the first of 4 Welcome to the Blumhouse movies that were released this month. Coincidentally, it's one of 3 awful ones that were released this month. This movie is nothing short of a shitty goof fest. I saw it over a month ago now, and it's so hard to recall any of the details of this movie. It's so unmoving and unmemorable, and it's upsetting that this is how the month started. The Addams Family 2 is yet another misstep by this animated Addams Family universe. However, it is better than its predecessor. For a series that seemed as hopeless and lost as this series did, I'm glad that this movie is at least somewhat bearable. It has some fun road-tripping tropes, and it can be fun in general at times, but this movie is lacking a severe amount of depth. Overall, it's another miss for this Addams Family animated universe, but there is still some hope yet. Maybe there will be some fun for this animated franchise. The Guilty is a rehash of an apparently better and more tense movie. This movie gets a passable rating because it is somewhat effective at some times. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is decent at times and the tension is somewhat there. Some of the twists just get revealed too early and the poor writing for the second half just really can't save this movie. Black as Night is another muddled, piss-poor movie that is a part of this Welcome to the Blumhouse nightmare. I wish there had been some weight to the attempted substance of the movie, but the narration, poor style, and poor writing just sink this movie before it even gets started. Mayday is a weird movie, but I did find myself enjoying it quite a lot. When a young woman is transported to an island where these sort of sirens try to lure young men in war to their deaths during this pretty much eternally raging war, some interesting things unfold. It has a fascinating style and a really strong meditative tone to it. This is all also helped by somewhat decent performances. No Time to Die is a brilliant finale to the legendary Daniel Craig Bond saga. It has everything I wanted in this movie and more. It somehow manages to inject new life into this series as well as wrap it up effectively. I've got more in-depth thoughts on this movie, but I've already done a video review on it, so check that out if you want to hear more what I think about that movie. Lamb is on the edge of becoming a total breakthrough and being a total flaming dumpster fire, but unfortunately what we get is just a plain old mediocre movie. It has some strong themes and beautiful scenery, but some of its absurdities manage to hinder the storytelling rather than build it up. It is bearable, but it's nowhere near this staple horror brilliance that A24 has been bringing us over the past few years. The Manor is the third and only bearable Welcome to the Blumhouse movie we had this month. It doesn't get a passable rating, but some decent scares and storytelling managed to make this movie almost watchable. Madres is the fourth and final Welcome to the Blumhouse movie this month. Thank God it's over. Halloween Kills certainly isn't a great movie, and it doesn't live up to the name of the original Halloween or the Halloween 2017 reboot, but it does do some okay things. It is exciting, action-packed, and hilarious to watch, whether or not that was the intention. However, this movie does feel like an unnecessary go-between. There's not a lot of value to the story, and the dialogue can almost make this movie completely unbearable. It has its pros, but it's certainly not the shining star of this beloved series. The Last Duel is a movie shrouded by its controversies and its niche style. In the end, it's a drama that manages to perpetuate its themes and its action to make one of the better movies of the year. Like No Time to Die, I have done a video review on this movie, so check that out if you want to hear more. Friendzone is a surprisingly entertaining Netflix rom-com about a guy who gets stuck in, you guessed it, the friend zone. It has some charismatic leads and side characters that make the movie entertaining and almost compelling. Unfortunately, the movie doesn't do nearly enough to make up for its painfully generic nature. Bestsellers is a somewhat bearable look at a struggling writer who meets a struggling publisher who's trying to prolong her father's legacy. When she discovers one of the best-selling writers of her father's publishing company that she now owns owes the publishing company a book, she sets out to make it happen. The writer has been worn by time and causes chaos at any chance he gets. It takes a poignant look at the themes of aging and legacy, and the leads of Aubrey Plaza and Michael Caine make the movie bearable. Dune is the best movie of the year. Full stop. Check out my video review for more thoughts. Ron's Gone Wrong is another generic animated movie on the year. It does just enough in terms of innovation to make this movie a decent time. I found myself enjoying a lot of the jokes, and the story did compel me despite it being relatively generic. The tech side of things made this movie feel fresh, but the Mitchells vs. the Machine coming out this year and doing the whole tech evil robot thing way better makes this movie feel overshadowed by that, despite it not being really as much as copying the Mitchells vs. Machines. It's just not as good. Night Teeth is a ripoff of Collateral with vampires, but despite its excellent source material, Collateral being one of the best movies ever made, the movie still kinda sucks. It does some fun things with organized crime and how that plays into vampire families, but that's about it really for me. What the fuck is this? And why the fuck is it so good? Last Night in Soho was another hit by Edgar Wright. The astounding performances by Thomas and Mackenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy help carry this movie and make it something special. The premise is great, but it can feel a little goofy by the end. However, this movie is extremely entertaining and something special comes out by the end. Army of the Thieves is a prequel to Army of the Dead that I never expected. A decent amount of humor and heart makes this movie a bearable time. The movie definitely doesn't do everything right, but the leads do actually make this movie somewhat more enjoyable, and I'll give it a passable rating because of that. And with that final movie, let's wrap this video up. This month had some of the top movies of the year and some of the worst. The epic highs and lows of this month gave me whiplash, so on to November. Speaking of November, the year is coming to an end soon. Next week will be my video review for Eternals, and the 2 weeks following that I have a couple special videos planned that I'm really excited to share. Until next time, follow my Instagram at FWPReviews100 for daily written reviews about the newest movies. With that, this is FWP Reviews signing off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next one.